Alright, back again for another KSP stream here. And here I am thinking either go for a Gilly landing or a Duna and Ike landing, depending on which transfer window is closest after getting a Mun landing. After that, I'm not sure what the next destination will be. Maybe one of the planets in the Julian system, or possibly trying to go for one of the outer planets. Right, so to start off with the development of a Mun rocket here, I also want to design a reusable 2.5 meter launch system. And since I have docking ports, I'm thinking do a multiple part like the Apollo style. So let's have this as the command module here, the payload on the back. We have a cargo bay for it. Let's see if we could walk around this with a little fairing or something. Yeah, that should be fine. We could actually just add a couple fuel tanks in there, probably. Monopropellant tanks. Gotta walk. We need to add heat shield to the bottom here. See, is there a battery I could put in between there? Not one of the proper size, alright? Well, that will have to do, I guess. So here, let's do the same thing we did on the previous rocket. Let's actually rotate these so that it's not just sticking into here. That works a bit better. So, experiment storage unit, and then we want the mystery goo and the other sciences. Thermometer, and where's the pressure? There. The seismic one will not be on here, as this part should not be landing on anything. And go ahead and put a docking port on the top. And that makes the command module. Now, decoupler, and we'll want to add a small little engine section onto it. I could find the right size ones. There they are. Do I have engine plates? I do. So 2 Terriers, I think, should be a good amount of thrust for this. Move them in a little bit. And there we go, that looks pretty good. Alright, now we also need to design the lander. so the lander will have to fit in this. Which will be a little tight, but I don't think it'll be impossible. So start it with a junior docking port and lander can that's already too big. Right. New plan. Do I have just a structural adapter here? I do. So let's do it with the 2.5 meter one. Then we'll just have to put the main fairing over top of it. So, docking port, lander can. And then one of these tanks should be good. Probably actually more than I need for MUN, but yeah, let's shrink it down to this. And just put a terrier on the bottom. Go ahead and put a set of the Oscar fuel tanks around it, because then I can add the landing legs onto them. Move them in a little bit. And now we just need the landing legs. I think I can actually move this up slightly and have the lander still fit. No. Alright, so we'll have a little bit of extra space. It'll just make it easier to get it out. Should probably add a couple RCS thrusters to it. Same for the top module. This is going to be my first MUN lander. So it has going to be Apollo style with a separate command pod and lander on the bottom. After the MUN, planning on going to either Gilly or Duna, depending on which transfer window is closer. Let's add some solar panels to the side of this, only need 2 of them. Go ahead and put that on an action group. Probably should put some solar panels up here too. I think I can get away with just the static ones. Sure, that'll work. Have the science experiments on here, so mystery goo, the pressure-ometer, which thermometer, and seismic. Now I added 4 of them. That shouldn't be a problem though. Okay. Now for the main fairing. Going to be a bit tall, but shouldn't be too much of a problem. Clamshell deploy and let's up the ejection force, and then for the actual bottom stage of it. Oh, thank you for that. I actually completely forgot to add parachutes to the top stage here. Alright, so that, and can add a couple drogue chutes as well. Alright, engine plate and 4 carriers should work for the upper stage. Then for the bottom stage, just a large tank and main sail engine. Hello there, welcome to the stream. Right, where's the main sail? There it is. And that should be enough Delta V to get to the moon pretty safely. I'll just add a couple side boosters just to make sure. Doesn't have to have too much Delta V. The Modlist is in the stream description. Alright, now should be done here. So let's name it Munbound, and I guess that'll work for the name, and we want Jeb and Bob on it. And should we go for launch? Disable FMRS since we don't have anything useful on this, and go ahead and launch. Destination for this one is the Mun. It's probably a bit overbuilt, but I'd rather have more fuel and not need it than need it and not have it. SRBs are about to run out of fuel. Progress, I've made multiple min-miss landings, and that's about as far as I've gotten so far. I'm not overly experienced with KSP, so I'd rather be a bit cautious and have more tech than I need. Stuff I have is probably capable of already going out to, like, Joule, but I've never done anything further than a Duna mission before. Good luck in your new playthrough there. Hopefully it goes well. polarization burn a bit. Over to Apparatus and finish the circularization, and then should be almost in position to start burning for the Mun. Yeah, that is a really hard area tech-wise. I think once you end up unlocking the mainsail engine, which is what I used for the main stage of this, I think is when you can really start doing some bigger space-going vessels. I personally wouldn't really want to go beyond Minmus or the Mun without it. Pretty sure this bottom stage here will run out right after reaching the Mun, almost. Yeah, I did need to check out Parallax Continued. I do have Parallax, but I don't think it's the... Yeah, it's not the newer version of it. Right, and now we should just warp to Mun Periapsis and circularize. Wait, an equatorial orbit, but should be close enough. Now go ahead and go up to Apoapsis and flip it around so that the bottom stage here can impact the Mun, so it doesn't get left in orbit. Yeah, I haven't played it much in the past couple years, but I have played GD in the past. Oh, I forgot to transfer cables before undocking. So I need to try and get Bob over here. Okay, it appears the monopropellant on the lander can is empty, so that will make this a bit fun. Staging's a little messed up there, but hopefully that won't be a problem. That's probably one of the smoothest docking I've ever had. Now I'll get myself in an orbit where I won't crash. Now warp back down to periapsis, lower my orbit, and then we'll be ready to go for landing. We'll want to transfer a little bit of monopropellant into the lander can. Low mon orbit established. So transfer over some monopropellant, warp to daylight side, and then should be ready for landing. That crater would probably be a good landing spot if I can get in it. So let's go ahead and undock here and try and land. Oh, okay, it seems I messed up and there's barely any fuel in the lander, so I need to hurry up and redock. My mission here very nearly went horribly. Should still have enough fuel to safely make it back to Carbon, especially if we leave the lander here on the Mun. Once these are full, that should be enough fuel. Now, landing take 2, we should have as much fuel and monopropellant as we need, so it shouldn't have any issues this time. Glad I noticed that before I actually started properly making a landing. And there's the crater we're going to target, so begin burn. Going to try to aim for close to the edge of the crater on the other side, so that it will be easier to biome hop. And that should just be pretty simple here to finish it. Have to be a bit more careful than I do on Min-Miss, but still not too difficult a landing. Final deceleration burn here. And we have Lunar touchdown. So let's get Bob out on EVA. Probably should have done a crew report first. And go ahead and plant a flag. So EVA report, surface sample. Now for the science on the ship itself. There should be quite a nice bit of science for us once we gather everything. Crew report, and we're ready to take off to the next biome. That should take us to another biome over there. Fun part with this will be redocking with the command module as it's not in an equatorial orbit. And we have entered the Highlands. So there's a flat spot up over here, that'll be a good spot to land in. And then probably go up for orbit. I don't want to take any chances with Delta V margins. And second Mun landing. And we just need to do the same science as before. So mystery goo, pressure scan, thermometer, and seismic data. Then EVA, surface sample, and crew report. Now if we want to redock with the Munbound, we'll have to wait for it to come around. Hopefully that'll be a good position. I am not that good at actually encountering a target when going up into orbit. That's already a relatively close encounter, so warp up a bit higher and then begin burning prograde to circularize. Alright, that's already looking like a really good encounter. Which is good because we're running out of Delta V. Glad I did not try and do another biome hop. Get a little closer before I try and slow down relative to target. Bond towards it. Don't actually have to dock it, I just need to get close enough that I can EVA bomb with all the science experiments over. Go ahead and get the experiments from the outside here. Maybe I'll come back to collect the lander at some point. But for now it'll just be left in orbit. And back to the command module, and then back to carbon. Don't think I could get anything new from a crew report, but might as well try. Nope. Alright, now time to bond back. So warp over here and prograde bond, and that should take me in closer to carbon. I think I did it on the wrong side. No, I did do it the right side, okay. So if possible, try and get maybe 50,000 meters. Might do a little lower. I know I'll be coming in at a relatively high speed, and this is an untested capsule design, so I don't want to take it too risky. Right, that looks good for fast pass. I'm going to enter the atmosphere on the dark side of the planet. Might as well use the rest of my fuel to try and slow down here at periapsis. And now we should be safe for landing here. Down over the desert, it looks like, so I'll get a chance to use the science experiments in here since I haven't landed here before. Oh no, grasslands. Fine. I don't have the seismic meter in here, so yeah, no new science. But I will still have 2 biomes from the mud, so that should be a good science return. And lag spike for some reason. Hopefully this doesn't mean a crash. Okay, good. I have had this mod pack crash a couple times, so I'm hoping that doesn't happen here. And we have returned. Let's see how much science we get from this run. And 760 science. Not quite as much as the Minimus mission, but still good. Allows us to get a couple tech nodes. See what we would want to get. Don't think this will be too useful for now. Same with that. See if there's anything useful in here. Mobile processing lab would be, but it's a bit exploity. But the ladders would be quite nice, so I think we will get that one. Mark 3 command pod would be good for any further out missions. See what else here would be good to have. We're going farther out from the sun, better solar panels would probably be a good thing to get. So that will be the other one we get. And that's all the science we have right now. So I'm actually going to end the stream early today, probably back tomorrow afternoon or evening for either Duna or Eve mission. Let's take a look at the transfer window before we leave and see which one it will be. By the looks of it, it will be going to Eve and landing on Gilly, as we're closer to an Eve transfer window than we are to Duna. So that will be our next destination. Right, so see you next time, and bye.